Your dream girl.
Well, no, you were saying.
I was talking in general.
I think you were saying something about, well, if you have been with all these people, then.
I'm just asking why your preference is that if you've been with, like,
Well,
who
you
knows
don't,
how
you
many
don't, you
people
don't
you've
know.
been.
You
I mean,
don't
I
know.
don't, but I'm saying.
But
like,
you're okay, sure. So let's say I did have a high body count, right?
Yeah,
So you're
but-
saying, well, Brian, you shouldn't have this preference for women who have a low body count. Is that kind of?
No. I'm
argument?
asking why is it your preference?
Oh, why is it my preference?
Like, why do you specifically want a woman like that?
With low body count?
Yeah.
I'm going to defer to Q on this because Q.
Oh, okay.
Because all the research indicates that there are gender differences between our sexual behavior. That's why we're sexually dimorphic. First of all, you have paternity uncertainty, which is women who sleep around. There's less likelihood of them knowing who the father of their child is. And to a man, the ultimate disrespect is him raising a child that's not his. He's investing in resources to help the next man's offspring. That's extremely detrimental to his genetic legacy. The second thing is women, like I said, experience a lot more sexual regret. Women come with a lot more emotional baggage. They sleep with guys that rack up bodies. I don't know if you guys just seen Brittany Renner, but Brittany Renner just said she had 35 bodies. When she said she had 35 bodies, she said a lot of them, half of them were one-night stands. And she said she wished they hadn't have been that way. So that tells you right there that a lot of times when women sleep with a man, they want that man to like them. They want something out of that man. Mm-hmm. So if you don't get it, you become bitter. You may regret it. It may affect you emotionally. It may damage you emotionally. That's another thing. So you carry that into the next relationship that you're in. So now those guys are wondering why you are the way that you are, when in reality it's just because you don't feel valued. You don't feel validated. You gave your body to a man who didn't appreciate you, who didn't give you what you want. You knew what you wanted out of it. You didn't get it. So you feel some type of way.
I agree with you.
The next thing is
like that.
the next thing is the orgasm gap. Men have an incentive to want to procreate because we orgasm 99% of the time when we have sex. The majority of women do not orgasm when they have sex. So what did you just do? You just wasted your time. Also, women describe sex is better when they like the guy. They're attracted to the guy.
Yes.
So if you sleep with a man that you don't know, you might feel some type of way, yucky, or I wish I hadn't done this. You experience sexual disgust. So there's differences. All the research aligns with what y'all call the double standard, and that's why I say it's not a double standard. It's different standards because the standard sexual behaviors y'all exhibit are not the same standard of sexual behaviors that men exhibit.
But then you could also argue that stats prove that pair bonding happened for both men and women. The higher body count a man has, also the less likely he is to pair bond.
Butler donated $99. For the panel 1 by 1, would you sleep with someone who had genital herpes? Once infected, you're 7x more likely to contract HIV, disclosing to future partners, and will likely get rejected, taking antivirals for life, and forced to use herpes dating sites.
Jay Butler is he's a anti-herpes activist, and he's in here every week just going hard on the herpes train. So he does raise a very good point about, let me just see here, having herpes. It's a good point. So, okay, we're one by one, and we'll come back to the body count thing. Actually, or you want, let's have, did you want to finish your point before we go on to the...
I was finished. She was saying something about pair bonding. I was just going to
pair bond.
that. Yeah.
You were saying something about that?
No, I was saying the argument is that, because he's saying that men and women have different reactions when it comes to sexual promiscuity in that sense. But stats actually show that pair bonding is something that negatively affects both men and women the higher your body count is. So it is harder for a man to actually find someone too long term. The pair bonding, it affects us both.
My understanding, though, is it's more pronounced in women.
It affects women to a higher degree than men. Do you know why?
To a higher degree, but I'm saying it happens for both. You're saying it only happened to women.
No, I didn't. I never said that. I never said that at all. You just said that.
How dare you say that? How dare you? You were going to say, though, why?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you know what promotes pair bonding? Do you know the hormone that's involved
Oxytocin.
in? Exactly. And who typically releases more of that?
Women.
Exactly. Is
oxytocin and dopamine, people.
It's oxytocin and vasopressin. But vasopressin, it makes us territorial. You know, oxytocin is what bonds us. And you release that during childbirth, during breastfeeding, when you're hugged, when you're touched. Women release oxytocin a lot more than men do.
There was a TED talk on this, and I can't remember the names of the different chemicals released in your body, but the studies showed that yes, women release this like love hormone when they have sex, but men don't. So men typically, when they have sex with a woman that they're not committed to, they might not be interested in her anymore. They might like fall out of love, whatever. Yeah. But so for men, when men start producing the love hormone, it's once they are committed. It doesn't have to be, and in the TED Talk they said it doesn't have to be like you propose or you're married, whatever, but you have to have a certain like commitment to this woman. Like you have to decide for yourself, and it is different for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she's correct.
I think it's like the matter of who views sex as a commitment. I feel like women generally view sex as a commitment in just a broad, like in a big generalization. A lot of women think like if I have sex with a man, like subconsciously you think he's gonna date you, he's gonna want to take you seriously. But for men, it's actually the exact opposite. Like you could argue, like she said, men don't release vasopressin until they start like carrying out like tasks and duties for a woman. Like once they start accomplishing things for her, then they'll release that love hormone. But if they're just having sex with a woman, it's never gonna come like that because they're just not wired that way. But that's why men have more casual sex and women, I would argue, don't have as much casual sex, because for women it's not casual. Like we attach way more feeling to it. So like,
because you run the risk of getting pregnant at the foundation.
Well, that's part of it, but it's also like the quote, women give sex for love and men give love for sex.
Yes.
Word.
Mm-hmm.